Right now, your cat knows your voice better than you know theirs. Not just the sound of it, the feel of it. Every shift in tone, every word repeated enough times to mean something, every exhale that carries emotion before a single syllable lands. Your cat is processing all of it, and the science of what happens inside their brain when you open your mouth to speak is something most cat owners will never know until now. 1. The brain that lights up only for you. You walk into a room and say your cat's name. Nothing dramatic, just their name, the way you always say it. And somewhere across the house, before they decide whether to respond, something fires inside their brain that would never fire for anyone else's voice. Here's what researchers actually found. Cats can distinguish their owner's voice from a stranger's voice with remarkable consistency. But the more striking discovery isn't the recognition itself, it's what happens because of it. When your voice reaches your cat's auditory cortex, it activates reward pathways in their brain. A stranger saying the exact same words in the exact same tone simply doesn't do that. The neurological response is categorically different. Indeed, your cat's brain has also developed what scientists call cocktail party processing, the ability to filter your voice from competing noise. In a room full of people talking, their brain actively suppresses everything else to isolate your vocal pattern. They're not passively hearing you. They're working to find you in the noise, the detail that stopped me. They process the emotional tone of your voice before they finish processing your words. Your cat already knows if you're upset, joyful, or scared before your sentence is complete, before you even realize you've communicated anything at all. If you've ever noticed your cat responding to how you said something more than what you said, you weren't imagining it. That's exactly what's happening. If your cat has ever seemed to know your mood before you showed it, drop a yes in the comments. I want to see how many of us this has happened to. 2. They know your name for them and so much more. Think about the last time someone called your name across a crowded room. Your head turned before you consciously decided to turn it. Your cat lives that experience every single day, every time you speak to them. Researchers at the University of Tokyo confirmed something cat owners have always suspected. Cats clearly distinguish their own name from similar-sounding words. They set up recordings where strangers read 4 nouns with similar length and rhythm to the cat's name, then said the actual name. Cats consistently responded differently. Ear movement, slight head turn, a subtle shift in attention. That didn't happen with the other words. But the finding that genuinely surprised me was this. Cats living in multi-cat households don't just know their own name. They learn the names of the other cats in the home. When researchers called out a housemate's name, cats would often orient toward that specific animal. They're not just listening for themselves. They're mapping the social world around them. And your voice is the primary tool they use to do it. Depending on their age, environment, and how much you talk to them, your cat has built an internal vocabulary somewhere between 20 and a few hundred words specific to your household. Not dog-level obedience vocabulary. Something more personal than that. The particular words and phrases you repeat. The sounds that have come to carry meaning because you gave them meaning. Your cat has a mental dictionary built around the way you specifically speak. That's not a small thing. That's a relationship encoded in their brain. 3. Why that ridiculous high-pitched voice actually works. You know the voice, the one you use only with your cat, that you would never let another person hear. The slightly embarrassing high-pitched soft voice that comes out when you're talking to them on the couch at midnight. Turns out there's a name for it. Cat-directed speech. And researchers in France, and specifically at Paris Tiered University, confirmed that cats respond significantly more to this kind of speech than to a normal adult conversational tone. Their attention sharpens. Their body language shifts. They engage. Here's the part that makes it interesting, though. This only works when it comes from you. When a stranger uses the exact same high-pitched tone, same pitch, same rhythm, same warmth, cats barely register it. Their brain in a very real sense filters it out because it's not coming from the voice that matters. What's happening neurologically is that the higher frequency range of cat-directed speech activates ancient regions of the midbrain connected to maternal bonding. When you raise your pitch to talk to your cat, you're triggering the same neurological systems that kittens use to bond with their mothers. It's not silly. It's not a quirk. It's your cat's brain receiving a signal that says, this person is safe. This person is mine. This person is family. The next time someone makes you feel embarrassed about the voice you use with your cat, remember this. You're not being ridiculous. You're speaking a language their brain was literally built to receive. 4. Your emotions travel through your voice like a current. You can try to hide how you're feeling from most people. Your cat is not most people. Research on emotional contagion in cats. The way emotions transmit between species shows that cats are specifically attuned to the frequency shifts in human voices that accompany stress, sadness, and fear. These micro variations are invisible to other people in the room. To your cat, they're unmistakable. When you're anxious, subtle changes in your vocal tone activate your cat's amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center, causing their body to mirror your physiological state. Your stress literally becomes their stress. This is why cats so often appear near their owners during difficult moments without being called. They heard something in your voice that said, I need you, even if you never said it out loud. The reverse is equally true and warmer. When you speak to your cat with genuine happiness, real joy, not performed cheerfulness, their brain releases oxytocin, the same bonding hormone, at levels that researchers found nearly identical to those observed when mother cats interact with their kittens. There's also a memory dimension to this. Studies suggest cats retain emotionally charged vocalizations significantly longer than neutral ones. The words you say when you're truly present with them, the ones that carry real feeling, those leave a longer mark. Your cat may not pass every word, but they feel every word, and the ones that matter, they keep. 5. The conversation that happens every morning. There is a specific neurological event that occurs when you first speak to your cat after hours of separation, even just overnight sleep, that doesn't happen at any other point in the day. After a period of absence, your cat's auditory processing centers show heightened sensitivity to your voice. Research measuring cats' responses after different separation periods found that their reaction to owner vocalizations was substantially stronger after 4 or more hours apart compared to continuous contact. Your morning voice, groggy, unhurried, directed at them before you fully formed a single coherent thought, hits their brain with an intensity that no other conversation in your day will match. This isn't accidental in feline social groups. Vocalization after reunion serves a specific function, re-establishing connection and confirming safety. Your cat carries that evolutionary programming. When you wake up and immediately talk to them, even if it's just, "Good morning, buddy," in a voice that isn't quite awake yet, you are completing a ritual that is deeply wired into who they are. Their heightened morning receptivity creates a brief window every single day that is arguably your most powerful opportunity for real connection. No distractions, no competition from other sounds. Just your voice arriving after hours of quiet and a brain that has been in some quiet way for it. You don't have to say anything profound. You just have to say something. 6. Asking questions changes everything. Here's something subtle that makes an enormous difference. Whether you make statements or ask questions, your cat's brain processes interrogative intonation differently than declarative speech. That natural upward curve your voice takes at the end of a question, it's a signal their brain is specifically wired to register. Studies indicate that cats show meaningfully increased cognitive attention in response to questions versus statements. When you ask something, their brain interprets it as a direct bid for interaction, not passive listening, active participation. This explains a pattern most cat owners notice, but rarely think about. When you ask, "Are you hungry?" you get a different response than when you say, "It's dinner time." The words are basically equivalent. The intonation is not. Over time, cats exposed to regular questions from their owners develop more varied vocal responses. More meows, chirps, trills. You're not just talking at them when you ask questions. You're teaching them that their response matters, that there's a back and forth happening, just a monologue. When you ask your cat a genuine question, you're communicating that their presence in the conversation counts, that what they feel or want in this moment is something you're actually curious about. Cats who receive regular questions from their owners show lower baseline stress and more confidence in their environment. Ask your cat more questions, not because they'll always answer, but because the asking itself is a form of love they can recognize. 7. Your voice is the safest sound they know. There is a final thing the research shows, and it's the one that stayed with me longest. Your voice doesn't just communicate with your cat, it regulates them. Studies have found that owner vocalizations create measurable physiological changes in domestic cats. Heart rate slows, stress hormones drop, immune function improves. 10 minutes of calm conversation produces effects that researchers describe as genuinely therapeutic. For cats with anxiety, regular calm vocal interaction consistently outperformed other interventions in reducing symptoms. Not medication, just your voice and a calm rhythm speaking to them. Every conversation you have, the running commentary while you make coffee, the quiet check-in when you walk past, the words before bed. All of it is doing something real. Their nervous system responds to your voice the way it responds to safety, because that's what you've become to them. In a world that is loud and unpredictable and full of things they can't control, your voice is the one sound that consistently tells them everything is okay. You're here. Not every cat shows this the same way. Some bond slowly. Some will never crawl into your lap no matter how many mornings you greet them. But the science doesn't change. When you speak to your cat with love, their brain registers it as love every single time. So keep talking to them even when they ignore you.